Folks, welcome back to the content marketing department. In today's content marketing meeting, I have something really special to share with you. Basically, it is the difference. It is an acronym, a 3-letter acronym. So it's really, really simple to remember this process, okay? I have a process I want to explain to you and kind of a holistic approach to organic content, actually attracting customers and turning your viewers into customers of your business, right? Because there's two types of businesses that are using organic content. One of them is using organic content and it's working. They're getting leads through social media by posting this free content online. And then you have the other party who is posting content. Maybe you're even posting similar content to the other people, and yet they are not getting any leads. Maybe they're getting views, but they're not getting any leads, okay? That is a big issue and that is huge frustration. That's why I created an acronym today so that you can remember this and you can apply this to your own business and start generating leads by posting this organic content, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, right? A lot of my clients, they love Instagram. TikTok is for sure very, very popular as well, obviously, for a lot of business owners, even though a lot of B2C audience there too. But, B2B, sometimes people, I guess, make it work. Either way, I digress. Let me explain to you what the actual acronym is. The acronym today is AIR. All right? A-I-R. I'm going to go through each letter, of course. The first letter, AIR, first letter for AIR is A, stands for attention. Okay? You need attention. And like I said, some of you guys are already getting this, but if you're not, you basically, in order to do this, we need impressions. We need people to discover your page, and you do this by posting free content online and being consistent with it, okay? So some people, they think that, okay, sometimes I'll hear business owners say, I don't know, should I post every day? Should I post 10 times a day? Should I post twice a week, 3 times a week? What is best for the algorithms, okay? Now, look, if you're not getting any leads through social media right now, focusing on the algorithm and trying to be perfect is probably holding you back. So at this stage, at this step, you just want to post the content. And I've made, my previous other 2 videos have been about one of the most simple content formats that you can make, which is literally just recording yourself doing your job and then maybe sending it to an editor and having the editor, and make sure this is not just any other editor, but an editor actually who knows social media and who knows what's going to work on social media. Have the editor clip up your recordings of you just working, doing your job, whatever it is, and have them clip it up into shorts for social media, for organic short form content that they can post on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. And so if you do that, then you will never have an excuse ever again, and you will always have content. In fact, if you do that, you probably won't even have enough money to pay the editor to work all the hours it takes to try and make like the best short form pieces, right? So if you do that, like, you'll just have unlimited content is my point. You'll have so much content, your editor won't be able to keep up. You won't be able to keep up. And then that way, at least we know now you have your base covered where you are posting content consistently. If you ideally you should be posting once a day, right? Once a day or twice a day, great. I've had some clients post 5 times a day and it works really well for them. I don't want to post 1 billion times a day, and I don't even want to tell you guys to post 1 billion times a day. Just go for one time a day. Okay, let's try and keep it really simple. Now, the next thing is you need to make sure that you're following industry organic content best practices, and that's why earlier I mentioned you got to make sure that you're actually having someone, if you're going to do the post, because it's two different parties here again, right? There's a lot of different sections we can always split everything into, and for this situation we can split them into either people who don't want to script content at all and they don't have time to plan and research and everything, and those are the people where I'm saying, hey, if you don't have time at all to do this, just record yourself doing your job. That's it. Just record yourself doing your job, POV style, whatever, right? That is what you have to do. Now, for the other people, if you do have time to make content and do a little bit of research, or if you have the money to hire someone to do this, what would be preferred is if they're actually doing the research to figure out, well, what is working right now? Our customer demographic, what do they want to see? What are they interested in? What are content series that we can explore and experiment with? What is going viral right now in adjacent niches? What are topics? What are top of funnel topics that are not 100% related to our audience, but it's related enough to where we can capture this other audience and bring them into our ecosphere and our ecosystem right here of our content and our marketing and our brand. So if you can do that, it would be ideal. Right? And also, if you're making like the POV style content where you're kind of just recording yourself, what would be the best is not only just recording yourself, but if you could actually have a social media manager or someone to plan out, like, hey, make sure you record yourself, but mention these keywords, or like, hey, make sure you start a sentence with this. So they're lobbing you some ideas, right? And then when you're recording your content and just recording yourself doing your job, then you actually will have a viral worthy, or some, you'll be following best practices when it comes to actually hooking viewers in and talking about things that they actually want to listen to. And so that is pretty much air, or that is pretty much A for air. Attention, okay? Post short form content, free organic short form content every single day. You have no excuse to do this. If only one potential customer views one of your videos every single day, right? In 30 days, that's 30 potential customers that are watching your videos, which, okay, in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. I'm just keeping it really, really small so you guys can see, even for some of the smaller business owners, the newer maybe freelancers, the newer people who are trying to post content to, start and promote their business. I just wanted to let you know that, hey, 30 qualified people discovering you every month is way better than zero. Okay. And obviously we want way more than 30 people. And that's the power of organic content. When you do this correctly, you can get hundreds of thousands of people discovering you, right? You can get millions of impressions per month for your business. By the way, I completely forgot to mention earlier in this video, if you don't know who I am, my name is Akash. I have helped clients generate hundreds of millions of views online, and which have generated them millions of dollars in the process for their businesses. And they've become multi-millionaires, and their businesses are super successful and all that, all thanks to organic content and having a strong organic content presence where people not only, and if they did decide to run ads, a lot of my clients actually, we've approached marketing completely organically, right? And then maybe they'll sprinkle a little bit of retargeting ads here and there, but really it is the organic presence that makes people, so even if they do run ads or if people discover them elsewhere, what's going to happen is those people will discover them however they discover them, and then they'll visit their Instagram page or their TikTok page or their YouTube page, right? And then they'll visit those pages and be like, holy crap, these guys are funny, or these guys are entertaining, or these guys are educational, or I just like these guys. These are my people, right? What happens? They follow the page, and next time there's a promotion or there's an event or there's whatever that you're doing, whenever you have a spot available, like, hey, I've got one more spot available, whatever it is, now you have a bunch of people who already trust you, who already like you, right? I think we've already heard this a billion times. Know, like, and trust you, right? We probably have heard that a billion gajillion times, but it is true, and it stands true. So that's why organic content, that's why I preach about this, and that's why we have the content marketing department. That's why I lead the content marketing department, folks, right? This is why, and that's why you're attending this meeting. So now we have attention, okay? That's where I left off. We have attention. The next letter is I. I in air stands for invite. You have to invite people. It's not enough to just get attention. It's not enough to just show people, hey, I've got a business. Okay. Now for some viewers, they'll see that, hey, I've got a business. They'll see you have a business. And they'll be like, hey, cool, I just coincidentally happen to be in the market right now. Let me say what's up. But that's not going to be a majority of the case. Majority of the case, you're going to need to invite people in. All right. You did a good job of hooking them and introducing them to your marketing and your brand and your ecosphere, right? Your online, okay? But how are we going to get them to actually take a step closer to you, right? And that's an invite. An invite essentially is a lead magnet. It is a lead magnet. I'm just trying to be a little fancy here with the AIR thing, right? By the way, AIR is not something, I'll probably forget this acronym, right? I literally just made this up for this video, actually. As I was thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that's what we need. We need attention. We need to invite people. And then the next one I'll tell you in a second, right? The R. But we need to invite people. So what kind of lead magnet do you have? In your lead magnet, guys, please, create a genuinely valuable lead magnet. And the lead magnet should be in proportion to what pricing you have, how high ticket of a service that you provide, okay? For example, if you have like a $1,000 a month product or service, right? If you have something like that, then you can't just be giving out these lead magnets that are super personalized, take a bunch of your time and require your attention, right? That's just not going to be scalable. It's not going to be sustainable. So instead, what we want to do is we want to create lead magnets in that situation where it is kind of more of a digital product, something that's automated, right? But let's say your product or service has an LTV of around like $40,000. So let's say, you have a service or a product or whatever around $5,000 a month, and clients stay with you for around 10 months. Okay. So let's just say like $50,000. Okay. that is high ticket, right? Now, a lot of you guys who, if you have an agency, if you have a service, if you do roofing, if you're a lawyer, if you're whatever it is, a lot of service businesses that are high ticket, what they need to do is they need to have a little bit more personalization, customization, uniqueness, and creativity, and they need to package it in a way where their customer demographic is genuinely interested in it. The other day, I heard Alex Hormozi say this. I reference Alex Hormozi a lot. I should probably stop. I need to be more unique. But he just has such great business lessons. And one of the business lessons that he taught the other that I heard in one of his podcasts were when he was running his gym. I'm going to butcher this, okay? But basically, the premise of this is he was testing lead magnets. And he had one lead magnet where it said, hey, lose this much weight in this much time. Okay, and at the time, his demographic was women who wanted to become fit. Okay, he noticed that was working for him for his gyms. So he was like, hey, women, like, I've got this like 90-day program to lose this much weight. His original lead magnet was not working that well, was not attracting a lot of people because he thought, wow, this is a phenomenal lead magnet. So what did he do? He actually kept the lead magnet the same, but he just repackaged it differently. Instead of calling it the lose weight in this much time, he called it the big booty transformation summer transformation, big booty summer transformation, or big booty something, right? He made it like a fun name, something that captured their eyes. And the women he noticed, they all wanted like a nicer booty, right? That's kind of like their summer body goal. Like, yeah, I want to lose weight, but I want to get a nicer butt, right? So that's what I mean by packaging it in a way where it speaks to your audience. Personally, I could probably do a better job. Right now, I just kind of have like a custom, full customized, personalized game plan that I offer to people who want to potentially work with me. So essentially what it is, like, they don't even have to hop on a meeting with me. They don't have to hop on a sales call, no credit card, no phone number that they need to give me. All they need to do is fill out a questionnaire, and then in 72 hours, I send them a Loom video with a document filled with instructions of how I would approach their short form content in their Instagram page specifically, but also it involves like TikTok and YouTube and posting it elsewhere too. But essentially it revolves around their Instagram page, how to optimize it and use short form content to introduce people to their page, to their offer, and become customers, all through free organic content. And so that is my lead magnet, but my name for the lead magnet is a little bit whack, so I could probably do a better job. Like, it's not the big booty transformation, right? And so I guess I could learn this lesson too, and I should probably apply this to myself as well and update this. And so we need to make sure that you have an effective lead magnet is my point. A lot of business owners, when I look at their social media and when I hop in these sales calls and meetings and I get introduced to these business owners and they're saying, I'm trying social media, I ask them, what is your lead magnet? And they say, well, I have my email. I tell people you can contact me through here, or I have my website. So I link my website. My website's linked on all of my pages. And I'm like, oh, brother, right? I'm like, dude, you can't expect people to just be attracted to the link. You have to give them a little bit more. Now, what are some other potential lead magnets that you could use? Now, lead magnets, there's so many different ones. First of all, you could set up a quiz. Quizzes do pretty well because it's really simple and you capture information. And not only that, but quizzes are phenomenal because you actually collect a lot of market data. I have one client who has over 100,000 quiz submissions from his followers. And not only do we have a lot of content information, which is great because we can do email marketing and follow-up sequences with them, but now we have so much data on how to present the landing page, the messaging that we need. Oh, of course, it could be like an ebook, right? The classic ebook, guidebook sort of thing where it's a PDF, it's downloadable. You can also do tools, you can do swipe files, you can do, there's so many different ways that you can do this. And I would actually recommend testing a few of them. So maybe if you have one, evergreen lead magnet would be pretty cool. If you have some like quiz or something customizable, something like that would be cool. But I highly recommend also doing smaller lead magnets throughout the year. So test smaller ones. So, instead of having a quiz that's super detailed, or instead of doing just the customized audit, for me, for example, as like a content marketing agency, what a lead magnet that I could possibly do is, hey, here are the most viral hooks of last month. Or like, hey, this month, these are the best performing hooks so far. If you want it, then I will send it to you. Just send me your email. Okay. Think about how you can do that for your business too. Now, the last letter part of this process is R. We're at the last letter here. R stands for remind. Okay. So we have A, attention. We have I, invite, and we have R, remind. And you need all three of these to be the most effective possible, right? To get the most juice for your squeeze. Okay. Because it is a lot of work running a business. You might as well try and do it right. You might as well try and do it in the most optimal way possible. And when you introduce someone to your ecosphere, right, we want to try and invite them. And if we know that they positively reacted to the invitation, we know that they liked the invitation, the lead magnet, whatever. Now what we have to do next is we have to remind them that they can take the next step. What does this mean? Essentially, this is a fancy way of me saying, and a poetic way of me saying, right? How poetic of me to say air, turn that into this 3-step process. It just means to follow up with people and to nurture your leads and to do whatever you can so that those people who were interested, who showed interest, and who appreciated the value that you gave them through the invite, through the lead magnet, we want to make sure that they are continuously aware of what you are doing. And I don't mean remind by spamming and be like, hey, like, do you want to work with me yet? Hey, do you want to check out our business yet? Da, 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 da. No, I mean remind as in now you have their email, now you have some sort of contact method, okay? Or you could even do like retargeting ads, I guess, if you wanted to. Or just DM them straight up, right? There's so many different ways to do this, but you just want to continuously remind them that you are the best in your niche. You can solve their problem. You want to remind them of all of the ways that you have solved these problems, whether this is through an email sequence. So top of mind, kind of what I'm thinking of is email sequences, right? Because if you're running these email sequences and you have all of these case studies that you share with them, the subject of your emails are the fears that they might be thinking, right? Let's say, for example, you are a high ticket swimming instructor. Maybe you instruct people who are athletes and want to become like, I don't know, really, really good, or just rich people who want to do this. So you're a high ticket swim instructor, okay? You have to make sure that you're reminding these people, what are they afraid of, okay? Maybe one of the things they're afraid of is joint pain, okay? So it's like, hey, if you're having joint pain, just remember these swimming exercises are going to help. And then in the next 90 days, if you follow this, then then your joints will feel a lot better or whatever. I know for the medical industry, you do have to be careful of how you word things because you cannot just promise things. There's a lot of legalities, right? But I hope you kind of get my point here. You have to remind them now that you have pulled them into your ecosphere and you have their information, you have a way to contact them, you have to continuously remind them. And also in the DMs, you can do this, right? So if someone asks for a lead magnet and now they're in your Instagram DMs, and that's why I love Instagram because the DMs are amazing. You have ManyChat for automations. You can hook that into Go High Level and all these other softwares, right? And all these CRMs. So even in the DMs, you can speak to these people. You can actually just message them and say, hey, what's up? Like, what are you working on right now? What is the issue? What is this? And whenever they actually speak to you, whenever they present some sort of problem that they're having, you can send your videos as help, or you can send your whatever, your assets, maybe another lead magnet. Maybe you're like, hey, this is actually the wrong lead magnet. Let me give you a better one, right? So you are just reminding them that you are really good at what you do. And then you can present them with the promo, you can present them with the deal, present them with some sort of offer. And that's AIR. We have A, attention, I, invite, R, remind. And if we do these three things, if you do these three things for your business, organic social media content will generate you leads. And not only will it generate you leads strictly just from the organic content alone, but like I said earlier, all those other ways of outreach that you're doing, all the other ways that customers are currently discovering you, however you are supporting your business currently, this will just compound your effort. It really will. And if you do it, you just have to do it consistently. That's the thing. The most common issue I see with smaller business owners and smaller clients is the fact that they're just not even doing it consistently enough. And the bigger clients is differently. They're doing it, but we just have to make it, we just have to be a little bit more detail oriented, set up some systems and really have a deeper kind of content strategy when it comes to thinking of like, overall branding, controversy, pillars. We have to look at what has worked for them before, what are people in the industry not doing. You have to be a little bit more fancy, but I'm going to assume most of you guys are probably smaller businesses. And for you, just make the content, post the content, have a lead magnet so people have a reason to actually reach out to you rather than waiting for people to naturally come to you. You want to give them a reason to reach out to you and then remind them. AIR. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the content marketing department meeting. If you want me to personally give you the full audit game plan that I mentioned earlier, where you don't have to hop on a sales call with me, you don't have to give me any sort of payment information. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire. Link is in the description, everestvalleymedia.com. And in 72 hours after you fill out the questionnaire, I will send you a Loom video with a full game plan of exactly what your business needs to do on social media so that you are posting organic social media content. And as a result, you are generating high quality leads and getting customers for your business. Like I said, link in the description, everestvalleymedia.com. And that concludes this content marketing department meeting. Folks, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next meeting. Take care.